What you got there?
We're at the airport and we have the keys for the Karma camper van. So now I get to Uber all the way back and put it back in the camper van and then Uber all the way back to the airport.
Which is gonna be
Like a $60 Uber round trip minimum. I'm so happy.
heading to our next destination. We abruptly finished our little trip to Seattle. It started to rain, it was pretty overcast. We were only there for maybe 5 or 6 hours. We stopped by a pub looking over the water to have some lunch. We had a really great pizza and some beer floats. Then we ventured over to the Sky Needle, which was actually really sick. It had a rotating level. We're moving! We had to head back to our campsite as our next trip was heading to Mount Rainier, which unfortunately all of the campsites there are still closed because it's still snowing there. So lots of snow, very overcast, rainy. We had some potential 0 and 1 degree temps, so we're pretty happy to skip that one.
So we're coming towards the end of a very big day of driving. It's been now 9 hours since we left our campsite. We've probably been driving for 7.5 of those in very rainy and windy conditions.
After nearly 600 kilometres and 8 hours behind the wheel, we reached our home for the night in a small town called 9 Mile Falls, just north of Spokane City.
You made it! You did it! You did it! You did it! You did it!
It's time for bed.
Nap time. Sun's still up.
Time for bed. I'm done. Here you go.
Thank you.
Check out the view.
After some breakfast with our new friends, we spectated a local bass catching competition. We then said goodbye to this view and hit the road again for the final stretch of this trip. Over the next 2 days, we would travel from 9 Mile Falls and back over the US and Canadian border and into Calgary.
Last day in the van. We are on our way to Calgary to drop it back off. It is a sad day but also a happy day, so end of this adventure but the start of our next one. So we thought we'd do a couple of questions for the van.
Favourite part? I think the day in Goldstream with the hike and the waterfall. We did it! Woo! The most important thing I wanted to get out of this van was hikes, nature, just being in that sort of surrounding, and I think that day was perfect.
It was good weather too.
Yeah.
It was fun.
What about you?
My favourite part was probably walking around in Victoria and the campground that we stayed at there, and then just being able to walk over to Victoria, spend the day exploring around, which was also on Vancouver Island. So Vancouver Island was a win for us.
I think so.
Yeah, wish we spent a little bit more time there, but it was still great. Loved it.
The convenience, I think, being able to just pull up and go, oh, well, our house is here.
Our whole life is in the van.
Yeah, it just makes it so easy where we can just, you know, if we're hungry, we can just take 3 steps and get lunch or get a snack.
Yeah. I think I'll miss the most being able to just get out of bed, get changed, and just move straight into the front seat, and then we're on the road again, which is good. It's usually Usually getting me out of the house is probably a big challenge, and the hardest part, don't nod like that. So if really necessary, I could just continue getting ready while we're driving. Pit toilets. I said at the start that I would refuse to use them, but at times I didn't have a choice and I had to give in to it. I know that sounds really
Bougie.
Privileged, but yeah. I just have an irrational fear that something's going to jump up and bite me while I'm using them, so not a fan. How to use a camp oven. I feel like we probably should have like googled it. YouTuber.
Make sure the pot support, which is
The
the
wind
middle plate,
Hey! Do we call it a camp oven? Propane? I don't know. No, I don't know. I guess that camping is not as bad as I thought it was, although I don't know if we can call this camping. It's very much glamping. But you?
I think it's when put into a situation, you learn how to adapt quite quickly. I think we were quite comfortable within the van within 24 hours.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I think when you put your mind to something, especially stuff that you've never done before, you can adapt quite quickly. And I think we did that very well.
I'm really going to miss the van. It was so much fun. More fun than we thought it would be for non-campers. And I'd actually be keen to do it again sometime. I understand nomads a little bit more now. It's fun. It is fun. Sad day. Sad.